I've been asked to introduce Andy, and who will then introduce RJ and the panelists. So Andy Vicente is a queer Ilocano Filipinx artist and community health care worker based on Algonquin territory. Andy's pronouns are she and they. They're also the art director and co-creator behind the Bitter Melanin zine series, which explores themes of migrant labor, migrant politics and culture, queerness, class consciousness, motherhood, through their own lens, as well as through contributions from the Filipinx diaspora. As extensions and evolutions of their zine, Andy's installations of found and repurposed objects and textiles revolve around themes of intersectional diasporic identities, precarious livelihoods, and the juxtaposition of movements. So Andy?
Hi. I'm just gonna look at your faces. Hello. Thank you, Christina, and thank you, Laura, so much for giving me and RJ this space and the time and your patience and your wisdom. We very much appreciate it. I'd like to introduce RJ. RJ or Roland has been such an important part of my life over the last couple of years. I am drawn and connected to them in ways that I've yet to learn how to articulate. And though they may have gone through and continue to go through a lot to get to this point, they reaffirm their intersectional identities that me as a wandering person of the diaspora find incredibly grounding. To know them is to know their generosity and the infinite ways of showing compassion. RJ, I am honored to create and build worlds with you at this time and the next. Sorry. Man, I have like 3 other introductions to go and I'm already crying, but that's okay. So we have 3 amazing panelists for today, and also probably a little bit of Kayo in the background, just to add a little bit of flavor to the show. The first panelist that I'd like to introduce is Marissa. I first heard of Marissa speak at a dimly lit raw sugar cafe. I was pregnant at the time with my son Kayo, and frankly still quite uncertain about it. She was sharing the story of the birth of her child. Oh my God, I'm gonna need a moment, I'm so sorry. Actually, yeah, if you can read it, that would be wonderful.
And frankly, still quite uncertain about it. She was sharing the story of the birth of her child, and I was so moved and enchanted by her storytelling. Needless to say, I am in awe to the light that she permeates through the empowering way that she holds herself with grace,
and grit,
and a boundless desire to have others see their best self. Sorry. Thank you for being present in the fullest way.
No, it's okay. Okay. We also have Cozy here. Cozy's intellect was honestly at first very, very intimidating. Having read about her work and seen a couple of her shows, her precisions and the way that her pieces left me with questions I wanted to answer and that I needed to answer, I really appreciate. When we collaborated on a project with LGBTQ newcomers for the DIY Spring Festival, Cozy brought us into her process and took the time to listen. And for many, that was so much. I say many because I co-facilitate a drop-in of about 100 or so individuals who now see Cozy as a person that can be everything and to also do it very well. Thank you, and damn it, even though I don't know what your project is next, I'm already excited for it. And last but not least, Hannah. I first met Hannah at a bar in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, 3, 4, 5 years ago, in the typical way that Filipinos meet each other when they find themselves in a place they don't belong, which is often, are you Filipino? Where are you from? I've honestly wrote too much of an introduction for this. But what I really wanted to say is that I'm so appreciative of how Hannah values me having my heart on my sleeve, a quality that I so often get burned for. Hannah, not only seeks tenderness in places that have forgotten it, but she wields it as a powerful tool for survival, resilience, and sees it as something to be learned from, to be humbled by. I'm so happy to have you around, truly. Okay. Well, we have a bit of time left, I guess. And I guess we have a show to show you. So we'll continue with this.
Yeah. And actually, my last task for this afternoon as MC is we've been advised by a Filipinx knowledge keeper and healer, Lacayo Estrella, who will be joining us next week for next week's panel, is to invite everybody to join us in 1 minute of silence to reflect on what sustained solidarity and accountability mean in the season of the solstice, which is a season of change, and also in our world, a season of uprising, of mourning, of action, of struggle, and of hope now into the future. This is also a moment to pay our respects to Rodney Levy, Chantel Moore, Regis Korchinski Paquette, Abdiraham Abdi, the missing and murdered Indigenous girls, women, and Two-Spirit people, and all those named and unnamed who have been victimized by police brutality. I'll start the clock, and if we could refrain from using the chat or asking questions at this time, let's begin.